There's a lot of people who decided to walk away and stop paying attention to GameStop because the price action is somewhat sideways, and I feel bad for those people. We'll talk about GameStop and AMC in the middle of this video, but does this chart look familiar to you guys? Because to me, it looks very familiar. And this is the chart back in 2017, January 2017, when Trump was inaugurated, and that is, in my opinion, the next catalyst that we have to pay attention to. Take a look at this chart, study it with your eyeballs, very good, and take a look where we are trading at right now. There are a couple of things that we could potentially see with the S&P 500. First of all, if you look at the weekly time frame, we are testing the 1618 fib level right at $600, $599.50 to $600. If we get above that, we are not out of the woods just yet. We do have some resistance at 606. But if we get a weekly close above 606, which as of right now looks unlikely based on the short week, you are making that move back up to 623, potentially higher. Now, yes, we are seeing the SPY bounce today, but is this the end of the move? Will it continue higher? If you take a look at the previous inauguration, you can see that we had very similar charts coming into the new year, which ultimately did continue higher and did continue to make new all-time highs. One potential possibility is the SPY comes back down all the way to 573 to 575 in this zone coming into inauguration before coming higher into that 623 range. Now, the only reason this is a possibility is because you can see back here, the SPY, instead of flushing off, climbing higher and building another high, ended up making another low before the end of the year. That is if we are sitting at the same spot. Now, the SPY did move up today, and ultimately it did move up on decent volume. The volume wasn't too low, which shows signs that we are going to continue higher for the SPY. With that being said, watch for that close above 606. Now, there are a couple of warning signals. People are jumping into bonds, taking the risk off approach for the S&P 500. Once that starts to turn around, you can kind of take risk back on the SPY and continue to ride it higher. We are also seeing a drop in Bitcoin dominance. We are seeing it slowly scale up from the beginning of this cycle. Well, from the beginning of 2023, ultimately, we have seen Bitcoin's dominance scale higher and higher and higher and higher, leading us to where we're at right now. Okay, a dominance of 56.7%. Now, why am I showing you this chart? Well, if you take a look previously when Bitcoin's dominance hit this all-time low in 2018, we did actually see a market collapse. We saw a drop of over 20% in the S&P 500 before rebounding. And this lasted from September 24th of 2018 all the way to December 24th of 2018. Not only that, you take a look when Bitcoin's dominance got depleted again, 2021, okay? It got to that same sort of level. What happened? Plenty of short squeezes across the board in 2021. We all saw that happen. So what's happening right now? Bitcoin's dominance decided that it wanted to take a hit the other day down to 53%. And if we continue to see signals like that, where Bitcoin's dominance is done, that's not saying that the crypto bull market is over, but once you see this, you are going to see memes like Dogecoin, XRP, which is not necessarily a meme, these large cap alts, and then the memes start to skyrocket. Bonk, Pepe, ultimately they are still all fighting resistance. Speaking of Dogecoin, just real quick, In-N-Out Burger may or may not accept Dogecoin. That's going to lead us into GameStop. I just wanted to cover the overall market and crypto as a whole right now. We need to pay attention to those charts. We need to pay attention to risk on versus risk off Bitcoin dominance and figure out where the SPY is going to close and on how much volume. The SPY had about 57 million volume by the time I'm closing this, by the time I'm recording this video, and the market's going to close in about an hour and 10 minutes or so, which is pretty decent volume. Now, whatever way you spin it, whatever way you look at it, GameStop's chart is primed to break out. Okay, no matter what way you draw it out, logarithmic, the regular scale, a flag pattern, a copy and pasted bars pattern, cycles laid out, GameStop looks extremely bullish, and we are seeing that reflect in dark pool buy orders, but also on the options chain, with $125 calls in January being added. Once again, open interest at $116,000. They are flowing back in. Now, that's going to also lead us, is December 25th, when Roaring Kitty is going to tweet, because one Roaring Kitty tweet and this thing is gone. It's going parabolic, and it's also going to line up perfectly with the charts. And we're going to get into the charts right now. But Roaring Kitty posted that Time article, which was from Christmas of 2006. Is it going to be on Christmas that he tweets, right? Jumping into GameStop right now, this is something that we've been tracking, and there has been something shown to us. There has been something shown to us in the sense that I said if we didn't get this move during this time frame, you play through one more flag before breaking out, which would line up with how many patterns we've seen back here during this melt up before the squeeze. That means GameStop is likely to have something like this play out before we actually squeeze. This is an entry into the squeeze. This is what we could see, right? One move up to 31.60, a double rejection there, coming back down to $30.30 before ultimately entering January 7th or so, which is right around inauguration squeeze, right? We are very, very close to that. And that would be the last flag pattern GameStop plays out coming into the new year, and that is ultimately what I'm watching for. We could squeeze here, or we could finish this pattern that we have been tracking, which is just a beautiful thing. AMC, this is AMC on the daily. This is also going to bring me back to one Roaring Kitty tweet and this thing is gone. A lot of people are saying AMC is not going to be connected with Roaring Kitty, and we are seeing AMC and GameStop trade inverse some days, which is a little bit odd. But what caused this move on May 13th of 2024 for AMC to run from $2.90 up to $13, right? It was a Roaring Kitty tweet. It was Roaring Kitty coming back. Now, obviously, he's tweeted in the time frame since then to now, and AMC hasn't had much of an effect. But guys, this has the same amount of pressure as GameStop. And you notice it came all the way almost up to the 200 EMA right up here. The next AMC pop is likely going to be around that resistance, around 620, right? Before hopefully getting above that. And then you have so many more moves higher for AMC, potentially. RSI also got rejected off of the 50, again coming back down to the 40. I mean, AMC is kind of like a walking cycle when there's no volume in it. Got rejected off the 50 here, rejected off the 50 here. It loves to do that, and every single time you get an absolute catastrophic collapse on the stock. Every single time the RSI rejects off the 50. We rejected off the 50, we got a large candle on the monthly and on the weekly to the downside, now sitting sub 415, which we did not want to break under. Okay, so we're watching for a bounce here, obviously off of the 40 on the RSI, which you have seen plenty of bounces bring us up something like this, and that is ultimately what we're watching, something like that, and then carry us over. Obviously, if we're looking on the weekly 200 EMA, we were looking at a price range of around $41, so it changes, it varies based on the chart that you're looking at. Now, if anyone's having problems with Fidelity and your AMC, let me know in the comments down below, because some people are having issues with it. Bringing us into BlackBerry, still continuing to make its move, was up 5%, tested basically $4. BlackBerry trading at $3.90, up 2.9%. We've been talking about BlackBerry here on the channel. This thing is looking beautiful. Watch for that 480 range for this thing to catapult up to. Last but not least, to close out the video, Tesla, we called out that Tesla is going to have a relief bounce and potentially come up a little bit, and this would be time for potential puts. We just have to see what volume is going to look like on this close here. If we close past this candle right around 456.60, it will look decent. Is that entry point? No. If we close above 460, is that entry point? I would still argue no. I would say an open above 460 is a potential entry point with a stop loss under 453. So we are just going to be watching Tesla as well as Nvidia. It is, you know, it was just bound to come back up and retest these levels. Now we have to wait and see if, you know, this pattern is going to hold up on the SPY, on Nvidia, on Tesla. Okay, overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Merry Christmas Eve to all you guys. God bless you guys and your family. Make sure to go enjoy the holidays. Take a little bit of a break here, and if you're not in the Discord yet, level yourself up. It is going to be a brand new year. Go tell your family, listen, I just joined this guy's Discord. I'm ready to take trading seriously and potentially get out of my 9 to 5. That is the top link in the description. Come talk with the most amazing people, stocks, and crypto all day long. Post my trades as soon as I take them. We also have options, sweep alerts in there, dark pool trade alerts, insider trade alerts, market news, and more. So it's a one-stop shop, and you are grandfathered in. So if you're in at $12 for the entire year of 2025, shout out to you. because that will eventually go up the more we add to it. Also, if you want up to 15 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, use the Moomoo link. It's the second link in the description right here. Open an account with them. It should take you 2 minutes. Once they approve you, make a deposit into your account. You are going to earn those free stocks as well as 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash. Do it before the new year starts. They are also giving you level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more as a retail trader. So make sure to go press those links, guys. Go do all of these links, okay? They are all beneficial to you. And if you have an extra 10 minutes out of your day, do it, right? That is it. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.